My name is Francisco de Pájaro, better known as artistrash on the street, or el arte es basura. I am a visual artist. I paint in the street and also in my studio. When I was a child, I used to draw what I saw on television. At that time, I watched Western movies because that's what they put on for you. I started painting little figures, and for me, the Indians always won. And in the end, they became my superheroes. And that's how I started to draw. Those were my first drawings. I dreamed of one day being an artist, you know. I was a bad student in school, but I wanted to do fine arts, and there I tried. I spent a couple of years in school, but due to economic problems and those circumstances at that time in my life, I couldn't continue and went back to my town and started working in the labor system. I didn't make myself very known there through art because I had to work a lot in kitchens, washing dishes, pans and all those kinds of things. So I decided to come to Spain and chose Barcelona, and with that I wasn't very successful either because the galleries didn't open many doors for me with those paintings. And it wasn't until 2009, when I was still working in a bar, that the economic crisis hit, and that was what threw me into the trash. There was a person who was interested in what I was doing, so they gave me the opportunity. And offered me to do a live painting because he wanted to record me, right? We didn't have a place. We didn't have any material or object to paint on because I didn't bring a canvas or anything, not even paper, and he didn't have any either. But the guy had a piece of furniture that he was going to throw out on the street. So he came up with the idea of taking it to the street and recording me there. I painted in an improvised, spontaneous way, and the feeling I had there of freedom and all, I had never done it before, especially in the street, right? So it had nothing to do with painting in your privacy. And that is when I get to my apartment and I couldn't sleep anymore. And that's when I start doing my little things. Okay. I continued working in a bar. Nobody knew me in the art world, but I spent almost 3.5 years just doing street art continuously, you know. That was a creative discovery for me, something I had never done before. And I did an exhibition in that Gothic gallery, and it was a success. I went in through the doors and everything was being unwrapped. I had already made a name for myself on the street. And well, those things in the trash hadn't been seen in the urban art scene. And then I returned to London again, and that's where I take off. And from London on, the media starts covering me there, and the media from here in Spain also begins to take interest. And then I decide to go to New York, and from New York to many places around the world, and until today. I made pieces that were very interesting, that I already liked, and it pissed me off a lot, you know. It was like, wow, poof. But yeah, How am I going to give it up? You know, my brain wasn't ready for that. Well, there were people who took it to their homes, or the garbage truck would come and it would end up in the landfill. In the end, that was also my goal, right? That generosity has been a plus. That has made me a bit different from other types of artists who also work on the street. You have to try to tell a story, no matter how silly it is, but tell something, provoke something. Well, I've walked and found this trash, and now I have to move it. Normally, I don't like to move it, because I apply it right in the spot where it is. I try not to touch it, but in this case, I'm going to move it a little and place it. I have a small idea that has come to mind, and let's see if it yields something. Let's see what comes out. I've already marked in my mental imaginary. I have 2 or 3 options. I have to choose one quickly. I use the pick, the brush, and the trash comes out. Keep in mind that when I started to paint the trash, I tried to paint very badly, in a horrible, very ugly way, to annoy people as well, you know. And when the police would catch me, well, they would find me. So then I thought, I said, well, then I'm going to try to be the most civic street artist possible, That's when I thought about the tape. That gave me another boost. It raised me one more step. The characters would stand out, and it also gave me a 3D effect. I feel like a person right now, accomplished in that sense, because coming from the labor system all my life and without studies, I have it super difficult. If I didn't sell anything, I would have to go back to the labor system to work, But I try to ensure that doesn't happen.